Okay, good morning. It is race day. Marathon coming up today. It's 4 a.m. And just getting up. Slept really well last night. Went to bed really early, so I actually did get pretty much my 8 hours sleep. You'll hear some coffee brewing in the background. Ignore that weird noise. Just have some toast on the go. Time to feed the kitties because they're acting crazy. Just gonna have some Silver Hills spread power big 16. I like Silver Hills bread, it's good. I'm gonna have a couple slices of that, and probably one with peanut butter, one with strawberry jam. Alright guys, so I'm here near the start line of the marathon this morning, and I'm feeling pretty good. Slept really well last night. There's quite a few people here so far, and seeing a lot of people that I know, a lot of encouraging faces, it's nice messages, and marathon number 3 is about to happen, so let's just see what happens. I've trained for it, so you just never know, right? But should be good. The weather's going to be alright, I think. It's going to be it's about 17 degrees right now. It is kind of humid, but there's been a little bit of a few showers, a little breeze coming in off the ocean, so let's get to it and see what happens. Peace, guys. Freaking amazing. Okay. Well, guys, you're going to hear some music in the background, but I finished it. Came in at 3:57, just under 3:57. Super pumped about that. The training paid off. Feeling amazing. It got so hot, so hot on that back half. So many times I wanted to stop. The sun came out, but you know what? Just kept going, and trying to break those stereotypes about vegans. Started trying to break those stereotypes about deficiency or any of that bullshit that we hear all the time. And had a great finish. So very happy with it. I'm super sore at this point in time. Just walking it off a little bit. I actually put my shoes down on the ground. I'm walking around barefoot, just trying to stretch it out. But all right, I'm just gonna call it for now, and I'll be talking again real soon. I'll give a little recap, but there we go. Got her done. Vegan power for the win. Okay, so I'm back home. It's actually the next morning after the marathon. Got my see me run. I don't really like the medals in the shape of lobster claws, but hey, it is what it is. So anybody who's been following along on the other social media has seen some more details. I know in the last clip I did talk about how I met my goal, met the 4 hours, which is amazing. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more though about the race, how it went, conditions, and things like that. So all right. I've been training since January 1st. I did the Fredericton Marathon on Mother's Day, and then right back into training for this one. And honestly, it was just crazy to be training for 28 or 29 weeks in a row or something like that. A couple down weeks, but still. So I'm glad it's over for one. I'm still going to run every day. Still got a run streak going for 2018. I just want to run at least a mile every day and have that just so I can look back in however long and say, hey, remember that time I ran every day for a year? So I'm still going to get out for a mile later today. I feel really good. My legs are actually fine. Obviously I'm not going to be going out and sprinting a mile today. It's going to be a slow sort of just get the legs moving, get the blood flowing kind of thing, but it'll be doable without too much problem. So, but what what happened at the race? So I get there. In the opening clip, I think I showed you guys around the starting line, and it was cloudy. It was kind of cool. I mean, it wasn't it could have been a little cooler for sure, but it was overcast, a little bit of a mist. So it was actually kind of refreshing. There was a breeze coming in off the ocean. Not bad at all. And it was like that for pretty much the first half of the race. So the race course actually goes out, kind of does a little bit of a figure eight out around this island. and on the south side of Nova Scotia. So it's a lot of ocean breeze, usually a lot of fog and stuff like that goes through there. So the conditions stayed really good. I was running with a couple of friends. One was pacing the other on her first 2 hour half. So where we left off and parted ways was kind of like at their probably 15 or 16K mark. And then they were just going back the short distance to the finish line. So, running with them, that was great. Like, they were definitely running at a pace that I felt comfortable with, which was anywhere from like a 520 kilometer to like a 540 kilometer. And, that was right in the range that I wanted to be in. I didn't really want to go below 520 because then I'm getting close to the top end of my tempo zone. But anything 520 and above, I mean, I feel like I can do that all day. So that worked out really well. Had some conversation, just kept nice and relaxed. Had a really good first 21K probably. And then when I got down around the tip of the island, Nova Scotia's most southern point, it's called the Hawk, and there's a beach down there, and usually it's quite cool down there. And then I thought what would happen when I got to the west side of the island was that the headwind that we had the entire way was going to turn into a nice cool tailwind. And that was the case for about like 2 kilometers until we got into this, I guess it's a town. I don't know. It's like this community that's out there anyway. And the sun came out. So it was warm. I mean, at that point in time, it was already pretty warm. Like, I know it's not hot by any means, but 20°C, around, probably like maybe even 22. So like low to mid 70s, but it was like 95% humidity. And then once the sun came out, the temperature just spiked. Like, it just went up by, 10, 12 degrees Celsius just instantly. And the real feel probably jumped like, 20 Fahrenheit. So all of a sudden, it feels like we're in the 90s and it's like 95% humidity. And it's like, okay, this sucks. Like, the race went from going well, every split just dead on to just like, I'm dying here. And everybody noticed. Like, I could see there were people in front of me that were, we had been about the same distance away from one another. They were just kind of always 200 meters ahead or always 400 meters ahead. And they're just starting to drop almost instantly. And that was probably at like the 25K mark. And that lasted, we had about 6 or 7 kilometers probably that were like just super sweltering hot. And there was a couple of points there where it was like, wow, this is getting really brutal. Like, hopefully, I'm going to be able to maintain this. I was still going at pretty much the same pace. I had slowed down a little bit. But one real saving grace for me was there was a guy that had been running just a little ways behind me. He caught up to me probably somewhere shortly after I parted ways with my other friends there. And I mean, we both had our earbuds in. We were both listening to our own music, doing our own thing. But we ran side by side and just kind of like got in a rhythm together for most of the back part of the race. So that was extremely helpful. And I went up to him afterwards. I did end up getting him by like a minute or two at the end, but I went up to him at the end and it was just like, man, like you definitely helped me out. So thanks for running with me. But yeah, and then once we get into like we get past the 20 miles, we get into that last 10K, we were definitely all feeling it. And I'm just passing people just left and right. I mean, there wasn't even that many people running it. I think there was probably only like 75 entrants altogether for the full marathon. But in that last, from about mile 20 to mile 23, I'm going to say, I probably passed like 10, 12 people out of that. And there was quite a few people just stopped. They were done. Like, they just couldn't go on. And, I was really feeling the heat too, because I ran it shirtless. I know you can't really see it from here, but like, I'm red. Like, it's not like super burnt. Like, I don't actually feel sore or burnt today, but like I got sapped. You know, the sun really did drain a lot of energy out of me. And then the last probably like 3 or 4K, couple of miles, it was a real struggle. It was like, okay, I just need to just every 30 seconds basically just refocus, stand up tall, watch my stride, just let my arms just like as if I was on an elliptical or something. I was just, my arms were the only thing getting me through at that point in time. My legs and feet were like sore, but it wasn't even about that. And I had fueled really, really well, like taking gels at regular intervals. It was just that heat. So I didn't have a lot of energy left, but I was able just to kind of power my way through it. And then the race finishes coming back across the causeway. And so those last couple of miles, it started to cloud back over a little bit. You know, we kind of got back into that foggy type of a thing. I mean, it was still really warm, but the breeze picked up off the ocean because we're getting really close to the causeway. Coming across the causeway, that last kilometer was actually cool, you know. When I say cool, obviously better than when the sun was out baking us, but it was refreshing enough to just get that last kick and just pick it up that last kilometer a little bit, get across, get to the finish line. And yeah, so I mean, I came in 3:56:55. I could see the clock and I was like, wow, I'm going to beat my 4 hours and I have a chance here to beat 3:57. So I was able to pick it up, not like a super fast pace, but definitely faster than I thought I'd be able to do on the tail end of that. And, you know, ran the last probably couple 100 meters at an elevated pace, got in 5 seconds to spare into that 3:57. So it was great. You know, what do you do? I mean, when we have these kinds of situations where we just want to stop, it's so easy to. It's so easy just to give up. But honestly, one of the things that I kept thinking about while I was out there and I just wanted to stop was like, you know, I had chosen this for myself. Sure, I didn't choose the sun to come out and I didn't like plan on it being that hot and that exhausting and brutal, but I put myself in that situation, and you know, it was my choice to be there. And I was thinking about how the animals and stuff don't have that choice. They don't choose to be in the hot trucks as they're being shipped off to slaughter. And so I had some of those thoughts kind of just going through my head, and that actually helped me get through it. So but anyways, yeah, that was it. Probably no more marathons for a little while. I'm going to focus on some speed, but I've got to wrap things up, finish up the last few things, get to work, and I'll touch base with you guys some other time. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all you guys' support and comments on YouTube and everything else, and we'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.